Hey wordsmiths! Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Liz. If you hear noise in the background, it's because my daughter's watching Peppa Pig. And if you see her randomly pop up here, it's because she wanted to join me. So today I thought I would let you get to know me a bit better by telling you my top 5 favorite authors. So let's get started. My first favorite author is Sophie Jordan. Sophie Jordan writes YA fantasy as well as historical romance. I've read all of her YA books as well as a romance series of hers. I've also read a couple of her historical romances, but I haven't read all of them. Sophie is amazing with communicating with her fans. Out of all of the times that I've contacted her through email, Facebook, Twitter, etc., she's always responded at a pretty fast rate, normally within a day or two. She's very friendly, very down to earth, and I really enjoy talking to her. She's a very inspirational type person. I look up to her a lot. She is one of my role models for writing and my all-time favorite author. The first book I ever read of Sophie's was Firelight. The series was actually the first one I ever finished as a teenager, or ever in general. It, along with Paranormalcy, was actually the two series that got me into reading and inspired me to write. So I owe that to Sophie and her amazing writing. So my second favorite author is Kirsten White. So as far as I know, Kirsten White only writes YA fantasy. I read her Paranormalcy series at the same time as Sophie Jordan's Firelight. I kind of like hopped between the two books series a lot. So like if I got bored of Paranormalcy, or if I was just so badly wanting to read one of the Firelight books, I would stop, go jump to that, read it, and then vice versa. If I got bored of the Firelight series and wanted to read Paranormalcy, then I would jump back and forth, and having those two books... What's wrong? Roslyn, come here! Come here! No? Okay. Having those two books really helped to kind of help me focus reading, which I know is strange because I jumped back and forth, but they kept me going. So my third favorite author is A.G. Howard. So unlike Sophie Jordan and Kirsten White, who I started reading back in grade 9 or 10, A.G. Howard I started reading more recently, probably like 3 or 4 years ago, when her Splintered series first started coming out. I could be wrong on the date because I have children, so all the days and years kind of blur together. But this was the first book I read by her. It was suggested to me by a friend, I believe. Either by a friend or my aunt. I'm pretty sure it was by my friend though. And I really liked it. It was like a gothic retelling of Alice in Wonderland. It had some kind of dark themes, but it was still really good. Something I also like, I don't know if you can tell, but the print isn't black, it's purple, which I just thought was so cool. So my fourth favorite author is Cece Hunter. I don't remember how I stumbled across one of her books or quite when. I think it was after high school, possibly after I had my first child at the end of 2013, so possibly like beginning of 2014. But the first book I read by her was Born at Midnight. It's part of the Shadow Falls series, which there's 5 books in the main series of this. So I pretty much binge read the first 4, and then when it came to the 5th one, I put it off for a year or two just because I I don't know, I felt like it was drawn out a bit, but I still loved her writing, so as soon as I started reading the 5th one, I was done it within a couple days. Like, I read it pretty quickly, considering I'm a slow reader. This series has, like I said, 5 main books, but then there's also 3 novellas, and then I believe there are 2 spin-off kind of series that follow the main character's 2 best friends. The one friend has 3 books, and I believe so far the other friend only has 1 book. But I read the main series, and I am very excited to read the friends stories. So that's Cece Hunter. My 5th favorite author, and the newest addition to my list actually, he only was added to my list this past year, actually, like the beginning of 2020, is Scott Cawthon, the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's and the co-author, you can see he co-wrote the book, co-author of The Silver Eyes. Yeah, what can I say about this? I don't know how much of the book he actually written, but I'm a big fan of the Five Nights at Freddy's game franchise, and when I bought these books, I bought them on behalf of my children and gave them to myself for Christmas, as a Christmas present. I put off reading them for a couple years. I think they came out 2 years ago. Let me look at the copyright. First edition came out in 2016. Oh, Rosalind, that's the camera. The first edition came out in 2016, so I didn't read it until this year, so 2020. Yes, I know. But I binge read all 3 books over the course of a week, and I just loved it so much. Yeah. I loved it so much, and I just loved how he kept the theme of mystery, and even though, like, the books are good for people who have read or have played the games, but also for people who don't know what Five Nights at Freddy's are. Like, it's a good standalone story, but it also ties into the lore of the universe he's created. So I loved it so much that I ended up adding him to my favorites list. Alright, well that's all I have for you guys today. I need to play with this little monkey because she's starting to get anxious. If you like this video, leave a like, a thumbs up, whatever. If you like this video, leave a thumbs up. Oh my goodness. Subscribe, ring that bell, and I shall see you guys next week. Bye-bye.